Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. So I tried to going live here. Bezrat Hashem, maybe it's sharing it to Facebook and X. We'll see what happens here. Here. Let me see if I can record it or what I can do. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, maybe someone actually is watching. That's pretty wild. So we'll see what happens here. So I want to talk a little bit about if Iran actually falls really soon. Like once Iran falls to the United States, whenever that's going to happen, we can basically start the countdown of we enter into this new period called the Chevle Mashiach, the Birthpangs of Moshiach, and our tradition is basically going to be 9 months. And I don't know, I would kind of be shocked, but who knows? Events are going so fast now. It'd be really incredible to see what's happening. And there's a lot we can do. So I put the hashtag Team Mashiach, and maybe if you like it, or you guys can come up with a better name. But I think it's really important that we start to really dig in and do what we can to build the merit of the Jewish people to bring Mashiach and get us out of this exile. We've been in this exile for a long time. It could be at least 2026 years of the Galus Edom, the Roman exile. And we have a sign. One of our big signposts is in Masechta Avodah Zarah, Beis Amud Beis. I've talked about this a lot. It's on page 2b. And Gemara asks this interesting question. Why is the Persian Empire still around? There's 4 great empires that's hinted at in many places through the Torah. The first is Babylon. The second is Persia, then Greece, and then now we're in this Roman exile. And all of Western civilization is all based on the model of the ancient Roman Empire. And the model is that what happens is like Rome starts to absorb other countries. So anyone from any country can become a citizen of Rome. And then Rome begins to spread its culture. So it's interesting because Rome was really adopted culture. They adopted it originally. They adopted the science and the arts from the Greek Empire. They adopted originally the ancient pagan religion from the Greeks, and then they just changed all the names of the Avodah Zarah, all the names of the idol worship to Latin names, to Roman names. And in some sense, that's why they're considered, it's not like an original culture, but it's this Greco-Roman culture. And then this was spread throughout the whole world. And then anyone can join. It doesn't matter what nation you are from. Anyone can become a citizen. And that's what we see. That's the model. It was in Europe. So you can become a citizen of England or France or Germany or Spain, you name it. And it doesn't matter where you're from originally, but you can become a citizen. And this led to the whole Enlightenment. And this is what we've been in for a long time now, hundreds and hundreds of years of the Enlightenment, the Western Enlightenment. But the Gemara asked the question, why is the Persian Empire still around? When Persia defeated Babylon, Babylon went away. And when Greece was defeated by Rome, Greece went away. I mean, they absorbed all their culture, but there's no more Greek Empire. But it's interesting, but the Persian Empire has lasted. And the story that's told is that Edom, after Mashiach, after the whole world is rectified, first that Edom, the Rome, the West, probably the USA is going to come for the reward. They say all these great things they've done, and Hashem's going to say, you just did it. You did it for yourself. You did all these things. You didn't do it. They're saying, oh, we did all this so the Jewish people could learn Torah. But Hashem's like, no, you did it for yourself. And then Persia is going to step up next. And that the indication there is that Persia, Iran, will be the second most powerful nation in the world. And they're going to say all the things they did. We did all this for the Jewish people to learn Torah. And Hashem is going to say, no, you did it all for yourself. You did it for your own empire. So honestly, I mean, I've been waiting for this for a long time, for this war between the USA and Iran, and it does seem like it's heating up. I don't know. The way the media is building it up, I mean, they're building it up that, the Ayatollah and the Islamists, the Shiite, fundamentalists in Iran, they're immediately going to fall. The problem I think I've had with it is that it's an unarmed resistance. It's an unarmed resistance against a very, very fanatical regime very fanatical dictatorship, which has been going on since the Iranian Revolution of 1979, where they deposed the Shah of Iran. But I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, it's possible this could be it. If this isn't the final event, it's definitely starting to build up to that event. So what we see that's very interesting is President Trump. He's defending the protesters, and he's threatening immediate U.S. military intervention. It seems like that's coming very, very soon because they're asking American citizens in Iran to make their way out. And if anyone's there, say hello, say shalom. Seems like have a couple people. This is really our first official live stream, so it's pretty exciting. And so it seems like there's going to be a military strike coming soon. I don't know. Is this it? Is this the final? Where Iran falls into the hands of Edom, of the USA? It could be. We'll have to see. But if it's not, it's definitely building. Like we're definitely building that, and our time frame is growing shorter and shorter and shorter. All right, so what can we do? What are we supposed to be doing if we're really this close to Moshiach coming? And it's going to be crazy. But once Iran falls, we can turn on our 9-month clock. And now we've entered a new period of the Chevle Mashiach, of the birth pangs of Mashiach. We've been in the Ikvos Mashiach. We've been in the footsteps of Mashiach. I mean, every day we're taking a step closer and closer and closer. But this will be it. This will be the birth pangs. And as in any pregnancy, the birth pangs, it's going to be rough, right? There's going to be contractions. There's going to be a lot of, more of these world events that we've been seeing. One thing that we were told about in Masechta Sota, which would be very terrifying, is Hagalil Yecharav, some kind of a northern invasion in Israel, destruction in the Galilee. And B'ezrat Hashem, it would just be done with houses and not the Jewish people. And it could just be destruction of buildings and not people. But unfortunately, you're right, it's not hard to see after October the 7th that, Iran and their proxies, they're planning it. Hezbollah's getting ready. Iran moved the Houthis into Syria, and there's news reports of China and Russia, and they're helping build the Iranian air defense systems and their ballistic missile program, and possibly giving them enriched uranium, which could mean like just nuclear warheads ready to go. So it's all very, very dangerous. And I think Iran's very, very dangerous right now because they are, their backs against the wall. They're like a cornered animal. And, as the saying goes. Okay, so what's our job? So what and why is this all happening? What is this all for? Why is it all happening? And all these events are to wake us up, to get the Jewish people to do teshuvah, to get us to return to who we are, and our greatest treasure, the greatest treasure that it's not known well. It's not known well by most of the Jewish people right now is the beauty of the Torah, the infinite value of the Torah, the infinite wisdom of the Torah being the blueprint of all creation, which is teaching us which is teaching us the mitzvahs, the 613 mitzvahs, and we have the 7 mitzvahs d'Rabbanan. So I'll say it again, #Team Mashiach. Let's get it going. So one thing we can do, as I say, one thing is powerful. We got this digital connection all throughout the world. So let's work together. Let's start working together. Everyone just start sharing, videos of Torah that's really inspired you. Tell your friends and family why. Why this really spoke to me. Why this Torah was so beautiful. Whatever whatever Torah teach it. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud of the Torah. And when we're proud of the Torah, it's going to start drawing the rest of the Jewish people in. The prouder we are, and when we are saying how much we love the Torah and the beauty of the Torah, it's going to start pulling everyone in, and we're going to all start learning more Torah and more mitzvos. And it's going to be this great groundswell. It's going to be this great ruach, this great spirit of teshuvah, of the Jewish people returning, of us waking up. And it's interesting. We sing Shir Malos on Shabbos and Yom Tov before the Birkas Hamazon, before the benching. And we say, like, we're going to wake up. It's going to be like we're dreaming, like we're dreamers. Like this whole time we've been in this gullus, this exile. It's unnatural. We're Hashem's people. We're the Am Segula. We're the treasured nation. And we have a very special role to play in this world, and we've been in Gullus for so long. We've been- oh, I got my first comment here in the chat. Oh, very nice. So here I'll respond here because this first live, so I can actually respond. May Hashem bless you as well. It's very nice. Yeah, please say shalom, say hello. Oh, wow, amazing. It's really cool to actually have this experience of live streaming. I'm not used to it. Okay, so very, very interesting. So, right, so it's a special time, and we can start, teaching what we know and sharing what we know, and saying, why we love, we love the Torah and everything we love about the holidays, and why we love Shabbos, and why we love the Yom Tovim, and just start waking everyone else up. Because we're dreaming, but we're gonna wake up from this, and it's gonna be beautiful. And we're getting really close. I mean, it seems like events are really, really starting to, go very, very fast now. And we need to start getting on, Team Moshiach. And so one thing is, right, learning the Torah, sharing the Torah we're learning, teaching everyone more about the mitzvos, teaching about Shabbos and the holidays and Pesach, and then we're coming up, to, I mean, every week we have a special Shabbos, and the period we're in right now is very special. So this week is Parsha Vayera, and we have the first 7 of the 10 plagues. And what Hashem did in Egypt, and this is a great sign for us of what the age of Mashiach is going to be like, is Hashem beginning to reveal himself in the world more and more. So through the 10 plagues, Hashem, what he did is he fixed the damage done to the 10 Sephiros, the damage done to the Asara Mamaros, the 10 sayings that Hashem said to bring the world into creation. And the Egyptians, through their kishu, through their magic, through the dark arts, they were destroying these 10 aspects of creation. They were blemishing the 10 names of Hashem. And Hashem ripped away the teva, he ripped away the laws of physics. And he showed from the lowest level, from the beginning with the water, up to the highest level of life and death, and the final plague of the death of the firstborn, that Hashem controlled all aspects of creation, and that he's the real Melech, he's the real king. And he was showing like the false narrative, the fake news of the Pharaoh. And that's kind of the period we're in. We've been in this darkness of the exile, but as we begin to wake up from the sleep, and the exile is called sleep, and we're waiting for the dawn, the Ayeles HaShachar, the beautiful deer of the sunrise, and that's what Queen Esther was called. And that's going to be the Gula, and the Gula means it's the revelation that there's one infinite being that created the world and is running the world, and that will bring, and that knowledge of this one infinite being that loves all his creations, that will ultimately lead past all this war and disease and death, and it will lead us to be a united world, and we'll finally have that world peace. Right? We'll have that world peace through, everyone seeing that they're connected. Everyone's seeing they're connected to one infinite being. And that's our goal, and that's where we're trying to head. So one thing about this period is this period called Shovavim, and one of the secrets of what's caused so much damage to the world is we have a great taiva, a great desire for the physical desires, and this is what happened in the Garden of Eden. It's a sod, it's kind of a secret, it's not so well known, but there was a physical seduction of Adam and Chava, of Adam and Eve through the Satan, the Yetzer Hara, and then through Lilith, who became the queen of the Sitra Achra, the other side, the dark side, and they kind of like corrupted, like Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve. So instead of them choosing from the Eitz Chaim, from the tree of life, which is the Torah, their vision became distorted, and then they ate from what's called the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and some of that's a euphemism for the physical desires. But then instead of a clarity of the world of just emes and sheker, truth or lies, then our vision became blurred through this mixture of good and evil. And that's kind of where we've been for thousands of years now. But through the Torah, we attach ourselves, we reattach ourselves to the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life, and we get a clarity through the darkness. He says that's the blueprint of creation, and we get a clarity of life. We get a clarity of what's reality, of what's. So I don't know what they're going on with these comments here. We're not talking of any of that, so I don't know what's happening. Okay, but anyway, so this period of Shovavim, it's a period where it's an excellent time to do teshuvah, for what's called zera levatala. If a man, like, he wastes the seed, if he's wasting the power of procreation, and this is a time to get teshuvah. So the Arizal, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria, says it's an excellent time where people can fast to get kapara, to get atonement. And it's a time where we want to strengthen ourselves in 3 areas. So we want to strengthen ourselves in Shmiras Einayim. We want to guard our eyes and not look at things that we shouldn't look at. We only want to look at holy things. And on the internet, there can be there can be some dangerous things to look at, not appropriate things, not modest things. So we want to guard our eyes from only looking at holy things, looking into the Torah, looking at holy things, doing mitzvos. So it's the first step is guarding our eyes. The second step, through guarding our eyes, that can lead us into Shmiras Halashon. We want to guard the way we speak. We want to speak like a very positive way, a holy way. We want to speak of good of people. We don't want to speak evil of people. We don't want to speak lashon hara, evil talk. We don't want to speak motzi shemra. We don't want to defame other people, like say basically untruths about other people. And that's the second step. And then that helps elevate us spiritually to the third step, which is shomer habris. It's guarding the covenant. It's guarding where the man is circumcised, and we want holiness and kedusha in this area. So physical relations only should be between a husband and his wife, and that then can have kedushin. It can have holiness, and this can elevate the world. And this is what was fixed when we were enslaved in Egypt. And that generation, they excelled in elevating themselves, against the physical desires. And we were led by 2 great. So the women were led by the holiness of Sarah, because she guarded herself when she was captured by the Pharaoh of her time. Like, she guarded herself. She didn't get engaged in any physical immorality. And then Hashem gave her the power to control and order the malachim, the angels. It's very interesting. So she actually said, strike. She told the angels to strike 10 times. And then in the days of Abraham and Sarah, in the days of Abraham and Sarah, that was the first 10 plagues of the Pharaoh of those days that captured Sarah. And that is what we call Maisa Avo Siman Labanim, the actions of the fathers, the actions of Abraham, Isaac, and Sarah, that became a sign for the children, which is us. And that guided us. And then that set the model. So then when we were exiled as a people, when Yaakov and Jacob comes down with 70 souls of his family, so then we followed the righteous, the women followed the righteous, the Tzedekis, Sarah, and her pattern. And then the men were given spiritual strength by Yosef Asadik, by Joseph. So Joseph, when he went down to Egypt and he guarded himself against the seduction of Ashes Potiphar, the wife of Potiphar, so then the men had the spiritual guide of how to resist all this. So this is the great elevation. This is, let's see, what's going on. I've heard it say someone who keeps the bris may be considered as someone who performs the whole Torah. Yeah, that's true. So it's because the bris, the covenant, it's sealed in a sign in the bris milah, the circumcision, right? So that's true. So, right, we had our guide. So now, what's going to help us out of this exile? So it's no coincidence that the first help that Hashem is going to send us as the Gula begins is Moshiach ben Yosef, a descendant of Joseph. And he's going to help lead us, against, the physical temptation. So these are some of the very powerful things that we can start to do. Another very important thing that's going to get us out of this gullus is Gemilas Chasadim. It's so important. So acts of kindness. The more kindness we do for our family and for our friends, that begins to tremendously build our merit, to get out of this exile. Being kind with each other is one of the main things we did in Egypt. We were kind to each other. We never turned each other in to the Egyptians. We were united. We were one people. And, this is a very important thing. So, so very interesting. So I haven't had the chat yet, so it's fun to play around with it a little bit. So just to review, so I was trying to get like hashtag Team Moshiach here. Let me put it up here. Let me see if I can type it in here. Hashtag Team Moshiach. And we can all work together and we can get this growing from a grassroots level and start building more and more Americas. It seems like we're really in this special time. We're awaiting the star to shoot out of Yaakov, and I believe that is going to be the Nova star in the constellation Corona Borealis, and then we could even see it. Who knows? We could see it the 25th of this Adar, which is coming up really rapidly, just a little over 2 months. But world events are speeding up really rapidly. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to work together. And the more kindness we spread throughout the world, the more Torah we learn, the more mitzvahs we do, the more tzedakah, the charity we give. And it's all building the merit for finally to see the Geulah and the end of the exile. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is really the first official live stream on Sweet and Good Torah. This is very exciting. Please like, share, subscribe. I don't know how this all works here. And I hope to see you guys back soon on Sweet and Good Torah. All the best.